Hello there everybody, and welcome to this feature presentation on YouTube. I am King Mac, your hamburger pal. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to enjoy a hot fresh cheeseburger along with some delicious golden french fries, a tasty milkshake, and a nice soft drink. Also be sure to grab some hot buttery popcorn while you're at it as you enjoy this episode of TTBurger Game Reviews on YouTube.
Hey everybody! Welcome back to TTBurger Game Reviews here on YouTube. I am your host, Tony. We're back with the final part of my Killzone franchise review of episode 269. Episode 269, part 4 of 4 parts. The final part of the Killzone franchise review as we dive into a Killzone, the only Killzone game on the PlayStation 4, which was also a launch title for the system. And the first PlayStation 4 game I ever got. It also introduced me to the PlayStation 4 on Christmas Eve of the year 2013 when I got this game, plus Knack for the PlayStation 4. And if anyone know what the first game I played with, it was this game we're talking about today. And we have a lot to talk about here for this episode. Before we can get started, I want to give a shout out to Freaking HD and Sub-Zero MX King Mac, and also that Hyperlamnia Perkles from Stateside, Megs, Black Healer, the homie RJ, Ogajiva, Rockstar Pool 69, Red Hood Assassin, The Sensational Gent, Scurry 22, and more and more and more. And we have a lot to talk about here for this next part here in the Killzone franchise review. Before we can even take a look at that, we need to go back before we just with a little bit of recap of the Hellgas here. We took a look at a Hellgas Killzone style TTBurger recap. Show you all which means took a look at Killzone 3 from the PlayStation 3. Gave it a 9 out of 10 because it was a fantastic game. Although there were some quirks with the graphics and stuff like that, and some parts of the gameplay that were not the best or anything. Sure, the second game got a perfect, but this game still got 9 out of 10, so it's still a very, very good game. Just, there are some problems, so just be careful there. But that's pretty much what I gotta say there. If you decide to check it out, so you get the Hellgas edition as well. Now we're gonna zoom ahead to November 15th, 2013. The year was coming to an end, the PlayStation 4 was already out, and we were going to be expecting some new games here and stuff, and the game we were looking at today is this one, starring the character Lucas Kelm, the new main character of Killzone Shadowfall, for the PlayStation 4 exclusively released on November 15th, 2013. Now, Killzone Shadowfall is probably my least favorite game in the Killzone franchise. I know this game got mixed reviews and such, but when you compare this game to the other Killzone games, you'll see why this game received average reviews and stuff, and only because of the launch title and nothing else similar to Perfect Dark Zero. Remember how much of a flop that was? Well, Killzone Shadowfall is not as bad as that game, but still, the other 3 main games were better. The first problem is your AI counterpart called Owl. It barely does anything to help you except for using bungee cords and hacking equipment and stuff, and that's pretty much it. It's just really annoying, so we have new characters who have no personality whatsoever, and a supporting character who becomes the bad guy, and at the end of the day, it feels like a side story of Killzone instead of a sequel to a fantastic first-person shooter. Now, this game is not completely bad, has some redeeming qualities that may make it enjoyable, and it's better than Halo and Call of Duty Perfect Dark Zero and stuff, but still, this could have been better. If anything, they could have just made Killzone 4 continually left off with Subject and all them stuff, but they did not. Killzone Shadowfall story takes place 30 years after Killzone 3. There is no Subject or anyone from the previous game. Still, we played Lucas Kelm. You start off as him playing, being a little kid, and his father trying to escape Vecta, has been overrun by the Hellgas. Survivors have to take refugee on Vecta, and Hellgas are taken over, and the ISA state gave the Hellgas permission to keep the part of the planet for some unknown reason. Now it's just a big mess. Lucas' father dies in the beginning after being shot. His only reaction is he okay? Doesn't even cry or anything. It's almost like Princess Elise in Sonic 06, which I did like that game, but you know, there are some faults that I have. That's off topic though. Doesn't even cry or anything, just stands there asking if he's okay, and then zooms to years later and more years later, and Lucas is all grown up now. And we have Thomas Sinclair, the guy who saved him, who's the director of the Vector Security Agency, and he trains Lucas, gives you orders, and in the end, he's the bad guy. Or one of them in the story just goes nowhere, and you listen to audio files and such. It feels more like a first person Dead Space and Killzone. I do not know. The story was nothing to write home about, and you never see Lucas's face for the most part, and the bad guys just laughable at best. It is like, why did they do this? Oh wait, I know why. It's because they needed to rush it out for launch on the PlayStation 4, and that's why the story is a huge mess. And on top of that, our main protagonist of the game gets shot and killed in cold blood. So there's no sequel after this, and sorry to spoil it there, but I had to explain the problems. I could be here all day, but we need to continue. Killzone Shuffle's graphics are pretty good for a launch title. I mean, you see a lot of details in the guns, and the character models, and the cutscenes, and everything. And they look really good for a game released in late 2013 at the time. And this was one of the best looking games on the market here. It showed that the graphics were getting better as time went on in video games and stuff. Especially in Full HD 1080p as well at the time. This was a big thing. Nowadays we have 4K and such, but I do not have a 4K TV, so 1080p is still pretty damn good for me. The environments are big and crisp, with a big variety ranging from hostile planets, enemy-ridden spaceships, and more. I mean, they look awesome and big. The weapons look badass, especially the default assault rifle and shotgun. Killzone Shuffle is very gory, lots of blood. It's funny shooting the Hellcats with a shotgun. They bounce back when they get shot, and for some reason I find this funny. I have no idea why. I just do it for some reason, but hey, when I play, I have my assault rifle and my shotgun. I use the pistol sometimes, but for the most part I use those two weapons. The weapon effects with the alternate firing methods are cool. The assault rifle, the way it shoots out electricity, it looks really cool. Like damn, that was impressive. Like, I have no other adjectives to describe it, but impressive. But we have some slowdown issues here that were not in the other games, and it slows the rate of the gunfire down too. But presentation looks good. Sound is also not so bad. I mean, the music's okay, did not mind it. Voice acting could have been better. It sounds kind of hokey and over the top and phoned in, but it could have been worse. The weapons sound awesome. You know, it's not the worst sounding in-game either, but I mean, you have great presentation and sound. I mean, what could you go wrong here? Well, aside from the story in Killzone Shuffle. Well, we get to the gameplay. And what the fuck happened? Why does this game feel like Call of Duty Hellcats Edition with the controls and the gameplay style and more? For starters, the ally, like I mentioned earlier, that helps you out is very annoying and useless except for hacking computers and giving you bungee cords to bungee down and stuff. Most of the time you'll not even have to use the owl and stuff. You'll most of the time forget you even have owl with you. And Owl Kicking also shields you to start that and stuff, and give you adrenaline boost to recover your health and stuff, but that's basically it. As first-person shooter, it plays like a first-person shooter with the guns and hellgas to kill, and objectives you must complete to advance to the next level is powering up a spaceship, killing the enemies, and reaching the certain point on the map and more. The problem is, this does not feel like Killzone. Sure, you went to some environments and other game stuff, but they were jam-packed with enemies here. Most times, these levels feel lifeless with barely anything going on. And on top of that, the controls are just like every other mainstream first-person shooter. Like, what happened to that stylish control scheme that the other games had, that people hated and stuff that I liked and us fans liked? So, why would they oversimplify them like Call of Duty and please the people who complain instead of being there for the families who supported them? I mean, Killzone Shuffle does take use of the touchpad with the fans that, but you basically just gives you commands for Owl to use and stuff and everything. The campaign is 10 chapters broken up into multiple parts, and they vary in levels different each time. But in the end of the day, it all feels the same. And no variety. The game would just shoot some more. And there are no vehicles piloting, nothing like last time. Sure, Killzone 3 lacked tanks and stuff. At least it had mech segments and stuff, and a huge variety of weapons. This time, it feels lackluster, we'll say. I really do not know what else to say. There is cooperative play online multiplayer, but I have not played them, so let me know in the comments down below. The campaign is short once again. They have not learned from mistakes. You can read the campaign in about 5 or 6 hours, and you can replay it again if you want, but that's all the game has to offer. And on top of that, Lucas Keller is not a very likable character. He whines a lot. He's basically an errand boy set down on missions. Not like Tom Sajeko, who was a badass and felt like a very important character. Same with the Killzone 1 characters in PlayStation 2, Tepar, Luger, Rico, and Hako, who are all likable with different personalities to them. Here we just have a protagonist who gets killed off at the end, and basically no emotion. He's just a cardboard cutout who just does shit to do shit. It's not a terrible game. It has good stuff like the graphics, sound, and hacking gameplay. Elements are cool, but not to say the game. It's a mediocre game inside that. This is just a launch title that only the Smiths think being a launch title to show what the next generation game is going to be like. Even the menu screens are half-assed, look generic too. Something you have seen in other games. That's pretty much all I gotta say. Final thoughts. I don't recommend this game, but if you need a Killzone on PlayStation 4, there's still some fun to be had here. But for their games, it falls flat. I give it a 5 out of 10. That's the best I can give it because of the problems I have with it. But yeah, it's a shame that what Killzone has come to. So sorry about that, people. And that pretty much wraps up episode 269 of my Killzone franchise review. Next up will be episode 270, We're almost there to the 300th episode. I have something big planned for that. What will we come up with? We'll have to find out in the next part. Which all I gotta say, thank you all for watching this Killzone franchise review. I know it got kind of the scheduling was a little out of place with that, but I had to work on stuff like that. But I'll try better to get the next game out as soon as possible and stuff. The review out of me. Which all I gotta say is Tony. Peacing out, have everything to you on the next episode 270, part 1 of whatever. I'll let you know when high parts will be here on TTBurger. Take care, everybody. You guys have a great day, and just enjoy the videos. There's more coming on the way. Stay tuned.
I just know that there's a place for me. There's a place.